I know actually for teachers listening is going to be as a big problem. We always take the sessions, we won't listen, right? So still, even though I'm observing from morning onwards, everybody is listening and very attentive to the sessions, right? So today's my topic is forest as germplasm resource, right? It's really is a need of the hour. We listen to the speaker. What is the importance of each species? So can you guess what is there in the picture? Is a design which was created by me or natural photograph? Natural, that's right. Thank you. That was taken in the Earth Center, and it's on very rocky body, and rocky body made a demineralized place, producing very small, and another thing, beautiful flowering is also there, right? Just to make you attentive, I've taken the slide. Okay. Right, so I know, we all know, but for a thing we need to know the proper definition. Actually I searched a lot for the proper definition of the forest. Still now I did not find. Almost 158 definitions are there for the forest. So think of, still now we are commonly using that word, but we are not having proper definition. That actually definition I collected from the forest department. Crown cover at least 10 to 30%, then minimum area at least 0.05 to 1 hectare, minimum tree height is at least 2.5 meters, then we are considering it as a forest. Then germplasm is a genetic material. Sometimes it is only not of genes or chromosomes. Somatically transmitted plants are going to be there. So in that case, species or population are landrace, hybrid or cultivator. What everything is, we are going to be consider it as a germplasm. This is another term, resource, which is involved in the topic, which is useful to us and which is having intrinsic value. Right? Nowadays we are using the resource very. For human is also consider it as a resource, right? I don't think so. Really is going to be considered it as a resource. Can we give that term to humans or not? Just think of, you are all educated, right? Resource means which is useful to us and having intrinsic and extrinsic value. Intrinsic value means which we cannot. Suppose sun, always maintaining time. Right, is going to be intrinsic value, time management. Sun rays which we are capturing and producing solar energy and selling and gathering the money is going to be called it as extrinsic value. Until you can have look at the things in the form of intrinsic values and as well as the extrinsic values. Now the time actually is why we are gathered here is we are all realized about the extrinsic values. We are making the business out of those extrinsic values of the forest. Now the time to realize about the intrinsic value of the forest, which actually we are taking indirect services from the forest. Right? How much carbon sink it is happening through the forest. Right? How much amount of hydrological cycle is balanced by the forest. And how much of life is going to be taking habitat in that forest. All these things, if we are considering, this is going to be considered it as the intrinsic value, right? Production of the oxygen, we know all aware of at the time of corona. If we are taking the aid of oxygen cylinder for 1 hour, we paid 2000 rupees approximately. Then all those services without paying we are taking. So we don't want to pay our future generations for that services. Now we are in the step to paying to water, right? So at least we have to arrest that paying mode here. Right, based on the location, climate and density, forests are going to be different types. So in our social studies, in our schooling, we studied about all these things. So based on the climate and location, there are different categories of forest: tropical, temperate forest, boreal forest. And one more thing is, India is having wide varieties of forest, from the evergreen forest to the mangroves forest to the deciduous. Coming to the Telangana, we are having deciduous forest, means seasonal forest we are having. So the picture is showing. So this is the world's biggest forest. The world is announced as the lung space for the earth. Lungs of the earth. Amazon is considered it as the lungs of the earth. Why? Because most of the forest belongs to thick forest, evergreen forest is present in that area. Almost 6 to 8 countries are involved in it. Brazil is having major share of this. Right, another term is highlighted in the green: primary forest. What is the importance? Why we are talking about primary? Already I have given the list of types of forest. Still we are calling primary forest. Primary forest means which is not human activity is not there, or human interference is not there, which is completely wild or natural existing, will consider it as a primary forest. Right, actually this type of forest, maybe at the efforts of forest departments, sometimes we are going to observe urban forestry and all these things. Single type of spaces we are planting and we are calling them as a forest. Is it really forest? It's only group of trees. Here we need to get the proper understanding about the forest. Forest is not simple the trees. It is the land ecosystem. Already before me sir given the explanation about all the biodiversity and all those things. So how complex it is, how much life is existing in that, right? So by our human interference we are making the forest, right? This is to understand the life, what are the different layers of the forest and life is existing. The top layer we are calling it as emerging layer, second layer is canopy layer, then understory layer and forest floor. In all these 4 layers life is existing, but for our understanding we are only looking at one point, trees, but there is complex life is existing in all these layers. And as sir beautifully explained about the ecological niche. What is ecological niche means? Each form of life has its own function in the ecosystem, right? Simply I am going to say, how many systems are there in our body? All are biology students, right? We are having nervous system, digestive system, central nervous system, right? All these are working with the coordination of so many cells, right? Aiming for one function. Then this forest also, there are different types of life is existing and we are calling it as ecosystem, forest ecosystem. But the system is existing because of the several functional units of the life, right? This we need to realize. That we cannot, simply by sitting in this classrooms, we cannot get this exposure. So we need to really go around the forest. So we must have some educational tours in this area. Then coming to the temporal forest is going to be another big forest. This is considered as a biome. We are going to be clear, have the atmosphere, right, hydrosphere, like that. The complete life, maximum life is going to exist in this forest, right? So I got instruction, so I am moving little bit fast. This is what our state is having, right? So we are going to sometimes ఫారెస్ట్ అని వెళ్తాం కానీ అక్కడ ఫారెస్ట్ కనిపించదు. అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్లు కూడా ఉంటాయి. సో why? Because destruction. This is what this data is taken from the international UN organization, right? So according to their data, they were, for the convenience, they were divided as different zones: Africa, Asia, Europe, and North and Central America, Oceania, and South America. So this is the division they given for the proper explanation of the forest, right? The green patch which you are observing, thick color, green color, is going to be very dense forest or primary forest, right? Others are going to be woodlands, means what we are developing on the name of urban forestry, then other lands and water. So India is present in the last position, right? This is the data of the 10 countries with forest area. This is actually 2005 data, latest data is not available, so I have taken this, right? These are the countries which are having highest forest cover. So India is also there in that. Why? Means because of biological diversity. So right, here they given clearly: primary forest, modified natural forest, semi-natural forest, productive forest plantation, protective forest plantation, right? This what we are doing on the name of business, on the sometimes the reforestation efforts or afforestation efforts, but actually existed forest is primary forest. Those benefits are going to be missed by doing all these things. I said India is having evergreen forest to the tropical deciduous forest, different types of forests. Almost 18 types of forests are available, right? This is also mentioned by Dunti Narasimha Reddy sir, and everybody is mentioned in this. What about the Nagoya protocol? Means is only of genetic material, biological resources and their sharing. Actually this is going to be, sometimes if you think that is going to be cause very negative impact, sometimes it is going to be considered it as a positive impact. India is signed in that. When the COP12 is happened in the Hyderabad, at that time India is signed in the Nagoya protocol, right? What is the benefit? Actually what is the motive behind it? Here the two sides of the coin is going to be there. For example, if you take the nuclear energy, you can use the positive side for medical treatments. At the same time you can use it as a destructive energy as atomic bombs. This is how our perception to take the resource. That is not the fault with the resource, that is a fault with our brain, human brain, right? Here the Nagoya protocol, the intention may be good, but some maximum times this is going to be misutilized. This is aimed for the sharing, access and benefit sharing to the poor, right? But not happening. Why? Because one of the stories there is already mentioned, Ajadiricta indica, neem tree, right? The rights are going to be patented to American company, right? But the court fightings, India won the case because of that reason. Basmati rice, we know everyone enjoyed the biryani rice. Yes, that Basmati rice is also one of the company, US company, tech company is going to be filed a patent. That also rejected. Why? Because the rice belongs to Basmati rice belongs to more cultivated in the northeastern states of India and as well as the Pakistan, right? From that genes they developed the low quality Basmati gene variety and they cultivated in the lab and they grown and they applied for the patent, So these type of things are going to be happen. Resource is sometimes as that market domination is going to be by the private company. In that case, this protocol is going to be misused. That is a major disadvantage. Here the policy framework, strong policy framework is required. Right, that's already I have studied. Which are the organizations are involved in the Nagoya Protocol? Is going to be of Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change and State Biodiversity, National Biodiversity Authority. These are the organizations are going to look after. And one more thing, this is the traditional knowledge, is already inbuilt knowledge for every country is having this. How to store their germplasm, how to store their seeds, how to protect their natural resources, right? This is already there inbuilt. Maybe all of us are having village background, right? From it, definitely we are going to our grandparents, parents, definitely we are going to belongs to one village, right? In that case, if you are going to have observed the traditional knowledge, gummulanu undedi to store the paddy or different types of seeds. They can able to store 1 year without need of the air conditioning, right? So this is what traditional knowledge is, right? For that they developed some structural engineering and they consider some materials for storing without infection. So these are the conditions, we'll call it as the traditional knowledge, right? How it is going to be transferred? This is by the sometimes olden days there are no presentations like this. Definitely by the oral communication, the traditional knowledge is transferred to the next generation. Right, sharing of the resources, collection of the resources, natural way of production. Right, these are the efforts, technical efforts, and the traditional to be transformed to the technical systems now. National Gene Bank is there, right? National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, it is present in the New Delhi. So there are 4 ways to store the genetic resources. They are having seed bank. Cryogenic bank means minus 250 degrees centigrade below, right? Is going to be frozen conditions. Cryogene bank. Next, in vitro gene bank and lab gene bank, field gene bank. These are the efforts. And one more gene bank is there in the Hyderabad, ICRISAT, the well-known place for all of us in the Patancheru area. They are storing the almost 11 crop species, right? Next, ICAR, Directorate of Medicinal and Aromatic Plant Research. This is also having the field gene bank. They are supplying medicinal plants, right? This already I have explained. So takeaway points. So we have to realize about the traditional knowledge. Maybe you belongs to different places. Now the strong tool is in your hand. Everybody is using right now. So please capture them and try to post in YouTube or hand over that knowledge to the biodiversity board. Right? If you belongs to observe some traditional knowledge, right? This is the first thing. Second thing is, if possible, some area, if you are going for construction of house or you are having cultivation land, anything, so please spare some piece of bit of land which is having a source for natural germplasm. If any case, it can spread itself, able to spread. So please, మీరు ఏమన్నా చేయండి, ఒక కనీసం 1 foot area is going to be left for the natural vegetation. It is going to be act as a gene pool naturally. And another thing, so I think inspired by these sessions and try to inspire your students and be a role model to conserve the gene pool and as well as the natural resources. Thank you very much to all of you.